Hello and welcome to week 3 in research methods here, and we are trucking right along in the content and hoping to hear from more of you in regard to your special assignments as we're making through there. Again, this is timed on your readiness. The structure of the class is such that to encourage you to get these things done early so we can get to actually conducting your study early. So here we are in chapter 3. We're going to be talking about variables and measurements. And what we're looking at is detailed discussion about what it is you're measuring. What are the variables, meaning the concepts that you're trying to link together? If you say, that watching TV affects grades, then we say watching TV and grades are two variables. If we're looking at one affecting the other, we're going to be looking at an independent variable, the amount of TV that we watch, and a dependent variable, the grades. Now, we can measure each one of those variables in various different ways. We can say the number of hours that a person is watching TV, the number of different shows, the number of days, that maybe even the type of show. We're going to be all that, we're looking at television versus grades. And then we can look at grades on a test, grades at the end of the semester, grades on an entire course. There's all kinds of ways. And the decisions that we make about the variables and how we're measuring them are key to how you design your study and how you are going to use statistics, if at all, to analyze your results. So this is kind of the building blocks of your particular study. So in the discussion, we're going to be looking at, what is the implication of doing this? When we choose to look at different kinds of variables and different kinds of measurements, they imply things. And I'm looking to see if I can get a discussion on you about when we how our decisions might affect the timeline of our study, how long it's going to take, how much work it's going to be, how much it might cost, the different kinds of measures that result in different kinds of statistics. I'm looking at those decisions, and those decisions play into the researcher's mind when they're thinking about, how does research fit into their lives? How much time do I have to dedicate to this study? How many resources? How much resources? How much money do I have? Do I have help? Can I do the statistics and understand them? All these questions go into the researcher's mind thinking about how they're doing your study. And you should be doing that too. Now, as much as you're replicating a study, you're going to be looking at the variables their way. But I know I've been working with a number of students who have decided to maybe shrink down the number of variables that they're going to be looking at, maybe shrink down the dependent variable a little bit, those kind of things, to modify it to make it fit within one semester. The timeline that you have, in fact, you have less than one semester. You have to get this whole thing designed and implemented. We have 12 weeks left. Those are the kinds of things going on in your mind, and see if you can look at your own study, look at other studies and whatnot in terms of this discussion. The quiz simply asking you to define in the first question the independent versus the dependent variable, being clear about what those are, and then examining a phenomenon called the Hawthorne effect. Now, this is actually sort of in the world of research that's been done in the past that doesn't necessarily pan out every time now that we have more modern methods, but certainly explaining the Hawthorne effect. If you ever take my anthropology class, the cultural anthropology class, I refer to the Hawthorne effect because within anthropology, one of the primary methods of gathering data is in direct violation of what we would usually understand as a controlled study because of the Hawthorne effect. Very interesting way in which those two related sciences approach that particular phenomenon. Now, this week, again, the due date or the assignment that's due this week is the one in which you are going to insert in the appendix of your document a copy of your informed consent. What I want to see in that when you get to it, I'll get to that in just a second, is I want you to format the the informed consent document, include all the elements, that's all in the course book, include all those elements as if you were going to hand that out. You're going to make a handout and they're going to sign it with a date, witness, and all that stuff. Do that as if you're going to hand it out. Many of you will not do that. You will actually convert that into a digital file that people will sign digitally, but for the purpose of your paper, it's a separate page, a one-page document that summarizes all of the informed consent components, bold on the top, informed consent, plug it right into your appendix. That's going to be the second special assignment. Many of you are still working on the first special assignment. Do not move on to submitting the second one until the first one is graded and you get 100% on it. That doesn't mean that you can't prepare that document while you're waiting for my feedback. Just don't submit it. So I would be going in consistently every day to be looking at the drop boxes for the various assignments as each one of you makes your way through this assignment. I posted that I've only received 2 of the proposal first documents in that special assignment sequence. That's okay. No penalty. I will get to grading those so those individuals can move on as quickly as possible, but I encourage you to get into this assignment as soon as you can. That first one particularly, because that's kind of where you lay out things, and I'll be giving you the feedback to bring your study into that framework that we have within now this one semester, these 12 more weeks that we have to get that done. So it's a big project. Get into it early, and I look forward to hearing more about the details of that. So enjoy this week. We're going to be talking about variables and measures that should inform some of your thinking about your own assignment. I should see some of that in the discussion as well. So have a great week, and I will see you in the discussion boards.